And it dies for lack of a second.
So we got a motion on the table to add those two comments that we would pass on.
Need some clarification.
Yeah,
Can I second the motion so I can discuss?
yes.
Okay, I second the motion. You're welcome. Not to be nitpicky or anything, but I was just, like, we have a specific stamp for the compliance with the master streets plan that the chair signs, and it's, I don't know that, I've never seen like a list of conditions on there before, but is the city going to have to so it's not going to city council, it's going internally?
Because it's not changing the amount of lots we have in the city.
So an amended plat instead of a minor subdivision,
Correct.
even though it's technically a minor subdivision?
Right, but the second lot is in the county,
Right.
or that new lot is in the county. So it's not our subdivision. So for the amended plat, the lot number is staying the same.
Okay, so,
On the
okay,
city
no,
side.
yeah, that makes sense. So as a plat amendment, then it only gets amended administratively and not going to council?
No, it goes to council.
Okay,
Yeah, just like a minor subdivision would.
so would it be possible to amend Lance's motion to put the comments to city council for approval of the amended plat, and then allow Robert to still do plat, because a plat signature is like a permanent record, and if they make a decision in the way that we think they need to make the decision, then that decision is made and it doesn't need to be recorded on the plat?
Well, Lance, my interpretation of your motion is just to add the comments. But I didn't hear you say that I should sign the plat.
Right.
Or is your intention, or did I mishear?
What I heard it was, and then you can clarify this,
Okay.
sorry, and that'll explain why I'm being so nitpicky, is to add conditions to the plat signature, right?
That's the way I would prefer, yes. So I would like to amend the motion. No, you'd have to take the second back, do you? Do you?
I
I don't think so.
I'm sorry.
I thought we were going to have two separate motions. One
Okay.
just,
One to sign the plat.
And then
Yeah, I thought-
another one to do
didn't
the
Steve make
comments.
that one? Didn't,
no,
oh, that one hasn't been made yet?
no.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Well, I didn't know it. I was talking, but,
yeah.
so technically, we could do it all in one motion by saying, no, not really, okay?
I would rather have it two separate
Okay,
to make sure that,
okay.
that the comments are more highlighted rather than just sign the plat.
Right, that's my intention. I would like the comments to be seen be given to the city council as well.
Okay, we can give the comments to city council and include those in the staff report, but conditions are different, and what I'm hearing from you are comments, not conditions.
Okay.
So if you want to do some conditions, they're going to have to be something specific that we can enforce.
So would it be, oh, can you put those comments on the plat signature? Okay, so could the motion be to make a recommendation of approval for the subdivision with these conditions that goes to city council, and then the other motion be to sign the plat?
You can if you give us conditions, but I'm not hearing conditions, I'm
Yeah.
hearing
Yep.
comments. So yes.
I'm hearing that Lance wants his comments to make sure that city council sees them, but I would also want the county to be able to see them.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
true too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's my intent.
And that was what I was
Right.
hearing you say.
Okay, yes, that was my intent.
So, I'm not going to ask you to repeat the motion, Cheryl, but I believe the motion on the table is to add these comments to make sure that the city and the county know how we feel about this.
Can I make a motion to retract the current motion?
No, we can vote it down, though.
Okay, thank you. We can do that, though. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a motion and a second to make sure the comments are included and that the city council gets them and the county gets them. We'll proceed to vote then, I guess. I'm not sure what you want, any extra, but we'll proceed to vote on that motion.
Was that the clarification of what your motion was? Because I heard your motion as putting that on the plat.
No, the most, as, I'm agreeing with Robert that it be, the comments be added, but not, I just want
Yeah.
I just want the council and this county planning and zoning to hear the comments. I know they're probably getting tired of it.
Yeah.
And they'll keep saying, well, that's that damn Lance making comments like this again, but I still think that it's important that they hear these comments, so.
And I totally agree with you. I just thought that your motion was about adding the comments to the plat.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
So if I heard it, if I misheard that,
Yeah,
then,
I didn't hear it that way.
oh, okay, cool, I'm glad.
Was that
That's what
cool,
I heard.
Cheryl? Are we all on the
Sure.
same page?
Okay, great.
Mr. Chairman, do we have a clear motion then?
What?
Do we have a clear motion then?
I do, but does Cheryl?
So we've got a motion from Lance that he wants the comments to go to the county and the city council regarding the traffic egress and zoning clarification, period.
Yep,
That's what I'm hearing.
that's.
Is that what you're hearing?
That's what I meant. That's pretty clear, I think.
Any further discussion?
Yes. I also heard Lance, and I realize I have issues with my hearing lately, that the way I heard it was that the comment was for a specific zoning recommendation as opposed to clarification. So that they hear the recommendation of the type of zoning for that lot, not be heavy industrial.
Zoning recommendation.
Didn't you say that?
That would make sense, yes.
Okay.
I'll add that, yes. That's, I heard what Becky heard.
Okay.
Come out of my mouth.
Well, let's vote this motion down and clean it up, so. We got a motion and a second on it. Let's proceed to vote.
Yeah, Becky seconded it, right?
I did second it, yeah. I'm happy with
McDaniel?
it now.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. McDaniel,
Yes.
Levy,
Yes.
Candelaria,
No.
Remy.
No. Motion failed for lack of a majority. I'd entertain a second.
Okay,
Or any
we'll
other
rewrite
motion.
it. Okay. Sounds good. Sorry. I make a motion to send a recommendation to City Council and the county about that the zoning be more appropriate than heavy industrial of the new lot, and that they consider the impact of the location of the existing egress and consider alternate routes for access on the highway.
And I would second that.
So now time for discussion of this one,
Yeah.
right? So this particular, the lot where they're amending, the back lot, the one to the west, as long as I've ever known it, has been Bedrock's yard. Right?
Bedrock what?
Bedrock, it's I believe, a blasting company, a drilling and blasting company. So there was some discussion about electrical substations, right?
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Okay, because I think that there's just lines, there's utilities that run through that property. And I don't necessarily, obviously, there's nothing highlighted in the packet, but I don't really know if there's going to be a change of use. I think that they're just wanting to split that, because on On the east side, I know that there's a car paint shop there, some stuff like that where all the cars are parked. And then in the back is Bedrock's yard. So I don't really see much change of use there. So I don't see the impact to much traffic as what's already currently what's currently happening. And if they're requesting heavy industrial, then there's probably a reason why they're requesting the heavy industrial.
That's a substation, and here's all the utility lines going to it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just showing where I saw it on the aerial
These are all
map.
underground, right?
Those are underground, but above the ground, you can see what looks to me like transformers on a utility scale.
Right.
And so that's why,
On what side of the lot, the transformers we're at?
The north, north.
At 795, not 761? So on the property adjacent to,
in the county. that
directly to the north?
Would be,
Because
it's part of the same lot, okay?
we're
So-
just looking at,
Oh,
because to me, it looks like Lot 3 has all of the equipment on it that
Yes,
you
you're
all are
right.
referring to.
You're right.
Lot 2 is just the chunk
okay,
due west, or I'm sorry, Lot 2B, the one that they're requesting to be split along, which would be fully in the county, and then Lot 2A is all of the stuff that would reside in the city.
can you show the plat? I mean, the plat, like even though it's not, so it's not the one, that one's
It's
not it?
not this one.
Okay,
it's
thank you.
this one.
Yeah, that's where
But
I
you
was
can see they're
confused.
also bumping it out over here, so that big transmission line is going through the middle of this too.
Okay. So,
But
and that
that's-
will be on the lot then?
The line will be on the lot, and the underground lines will be on the lot.
Within their easement, right?
Right, and right now they don't have an easement, so I am planning on meeting with Empire Electric sometime this week to get what they want nailed down to be put on the plot.
Okay.
Well, it would be my understanding that as far as any zoning change, it's in the county, and we have,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I personally don't have an issue with heavy industrial zoning for this particular property and its current use, and for any use for that matter. And I think that ingress and egress there it's relatively limited with the lay of the land as it is. Bless you.
Thanks.
So I don't necessarily think that it's necessary to make comment on the ingress and egress, because I don't really know what else you would do for that, and I don't believe that there would be much traffic through there to raise concern. So that's my portion of the discussion is, it looks to me like they just want to split it apart.
So what if, because I don't know what the process is for counties to do a change of use, but if it ends up being something different, could that be a recommendation that if there's a change of use that would increase traffic, well, they would still have to go through CDOT too, but that we would ask them to consider zoning that is more, well, no, not zoning, egress that's more appropriate for the new use.
did we get a second on your motion?
I seconded
Is
it.
there-
Yeah.
Seconded it.
Could you try to repeat that motion back to us, please?
Becky would like to recommend, or wants us to recommend to city council and the county to have it just industrial, not heavy industrial. Wants to know the impact of the egress and to consider alternate routes.
So we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I seconded
Yeah, you seconded.
it.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can always forward the comments up and they can ignore them. Because we're not making recommendations of condition of approval, right? Just making those
Correct. It's just comments. And you're right, they can ignore them. Or they can say, oh, okay. So any further discussion? Let's go ahead and vote then.
I didn't get who seconded.
Lance did.
Lance did,
Sorry.
okay. Levy?
Yes.
Candelaria?
No.
McDaniel?
Yes.
Remy?
Yes. So comments are included. Next item is citizen participation. Do you have any?
There's another motion we need to make about
Oh, yeah,
signing
that's
the
right.
plat.
Got to sign the plat.
I'm being,
For conformance with the master streets plan,
yes.
right?
I'd entertain a motion.
Trying to find it. You're faster than I am.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the motion to direct the chair to sign the plat for the subdivision plat amendment as requested by property owners Rob Pope and Russell Bauer for property located at 761 North Broadway within the 3-mile urban influence area with signature block number 1 for compliance with the master streets plan.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call for question and proceed to vote.
Candelaria?
Yes.
McDaniel?
Yep. Yes.
Levy?
Yes.
Remy?
Yes. Now we'll move on to citizen participation. Any citizens here that have any comments? Seeing none. Discussion items, master street plan update.
Okay, so as you're all aware and as we planned, staff held the 2 public outreach meetings in person in June. And 3 of you attended the meetings. So there were posters and map stations for folks to look at. The outcome of that, we had attendees, but there were no real substantial comments. The one kind of question I did get left with was about bike lanes or future bike lanes. And as we've discussed, this plan, really the intent of this plan was just a plan for growth and street alignments. It was not intended to be a multimodal plan or a transportation plan in a comprehensive way, so that's why this does not deal with those. And perhaps we may talk later about formulating some policy statements on including bike lanes in the future. That could be another project we look at down the road. But just to be transparent, that was the one thing we did kind of come out of this, the 2 meetings with. We did have some lengthy conversations, but they were just good, productive, friendly discussions about the plan and how it would work and what the changes that were made over the last 6 months. So tonight is kind of our last chance to decide if there's anything that we don't think is going to work or that we want to change about the draft policy text and the draft map. I feel like the map's been pretty well edited and vetted, but I would like to focus on the policy with the Planning Commission tonight because we did do some red lines. They're not substantive. They are mostly editorial just to make it read better and fix some capitalization issues. The one thing that did come out of that just reflects the policy that we had written in the previous drafts was just adding a signature block number, I think they need, I'm not real sure what happened with the numbering. I think it should be number 5. I don't know why that didn't autocorrect, so we'll have to fix that too. Compliance with the master street plan, and this basically, this signature block, I think is in here. We do need to update the paragraph that says within the 3-mile area, staff will administratively review. It says with signature block number 1, I need to strike that and put signature block number 5, compliance with the master street plan. The intent here is that we'll administratively review it and have the chairperson just come into the office and sign the plat. The resolution that will be referenced in this signature block is the resolution that approves the whole policy text. So that number will be used in every case in the 3-mile area. Does that make sense to everyone? And then that way, instead of just not having the signature on the plat, all the county plats will have the signature block, so it's clear what happened and where they were at the time that the subdivision was created. I think that's just for consistency, although it does seem kind of like a silly exercise. So that's the one thing I wanted to make sure everyone was following in the changes to the policy text. And so, I think that's all I really wanted to go over. If anyone has any thoughts or last-minute comments, I think rolling out next is going to be our public notice plan, which we have to notice this in the newspaper 15 days before the hearing, so that will, of course, happen. We're going to post it on Facebook and on the city's website and have the news flash. I'm not sure there's many other opportunities to notice the hearing at this juncture. We'll put up probably some notices in City Hall. So any last-minute discussion items before we bring this back in a format that's pretty much ready to be, we're going to have to record this at the clerk and recorder's office too, so this will be near to the perfect version at the next meeting, if not perfect for our purposes.
I don't have any comments. Anybody else? Hearing none, proceed then, and we'll go from there. Next item is just for information, building permits. Any other items of business? Any previous business? So I'd entertain a motion to adjourn then.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. I'd like to ask Phil one question before we move on, if that's okay.
Okay, sure.
I mean, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
So Phil, at the last water meeting, you mentioned gray water turnouts. And I've been doing a lot of research and looking around on gray water turnouts. Can an ordinance be written in Montezuma County for the city of Cortez allowing certain gray water turnouts without the county being, I mean, I know it's legal in Colorado, but it's supposedly it's up to the counties. Is that correct? Do you know?
I don't know. I misunderstood your question. Water
Okay.
water turnouts?
Gray water turnouts?
Oh, gray water. It's like doing dual plumbing, so you
Right.
can reuse your water.
Right.
I think that's just a building code thing that's allowed, and it needs to go through local jurisdictions. I don't know that we can be mandated to do or not do that locally. I think we have primacy.
Okay, so if someone grassroots or otherwise wanted to get an ordinance in the city of Cortez to allow certain gray water turnouts, and the city discussed this and decided on 2 or 3 different, I know there's different systems or systems that that would be allowed, the city can do that without having the county's approval?
Well, it would only apply in the city limits. It would only apply for the city.
Right. No, I understand that, and I think that's my point. Is what I've read and what I've heard is that there are 3 or 4 counties, I think, is all in the state that have allowed this, and I was just curious if we could proceed without the county's blessing.
I would think so, because we do have our own standards for all of those things internally, water and, sanitary connections. Even though we don't operate the sanitary sewer district, we have design criteria for that, and it would be a matter of going through the council, going through the city manager's office, talking with the sand district, I think. I think that's something that we could do internally, yes, sir.
So I guess I'm asking, will this add to Tracy and Neva's responsibilities if someone tries to make this happen, or is this something,
No, I think that would come out of Drew's office.
Through Drew?
With
Okay.
my department's support.
okay. That clarifies that, thank you, that's all I
You're
needed
welcome,
to know.
thank
Sorry to make you walk all the way over there for that.
It's part of our wellness plan, no charge. I guess I'd entertain a motion to adjourn then.
Go ahead.
I move we adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Proceed to vote.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
yes. Meeting adjourned.